For me, colonization looks like separation from my family in a very real sense. The big colonizers of history are England, Spain, France, and Portugal. They took a very greedy, bloodthirsty, evil version of Christianity around the world on a It's All Ours tour. The Doctrine of Discovery is a papal bull written in 1493, which makes the claim, based on religion, that all land held by non-Catholics were free for the taking. The bull includes the right to enslave, torture, kill, or otherwise abuse the indigenous people of any land the good Christians decided to claim in the name of Christ. The one caveat was if the people would repent of their religion and cultures to become Christian of some variety. They used these twisted beliefs, greed, and hate to justify murdering anyone in any culture who didn't fit their strict version of male or female. Of course, this led to Native and Indigenous people covering or erasing their own systems in an effort to stay alive. Most Native and Indigenous cultures outside of Europe have or had multiple genders. Leaving culture and language also meant destroying the gender groups that did not fall into the Eurocentric idea of male and female. We, the descendants of those who faced the original colonizers, are breaking free and saying enough because we are still being colonized by the descendants of the original invaders. The Doctrine of Discovery was used as recently as 2016 by Ruth Bader Ginsburg to defend military action and seizure of land at Standing Rock. It's very much an active document.
It has run the identity of intersex folks through the mud.
That idea that there was black and white, there was male and female, and there wasn't anything in between. And that is a place in which intersex people find ourselves, unfortunately, stuck at times, not in our choice, but in the ways in which people are uncomfortable with us.
My people, we were fine. Okay, we're flourishing. We were living our best life before, they came along and made intersex folks, two-spirited people, an anomaly.
The sex binary is not a truth, but it's been used as a tool for white supremacy.
The colonization of gender impacts intersex people because the idea of what a normal and healthy body is supposed to look like is inherently rooted in white supremacy. According to society standards, if our bodies don't conform to Anglo-European standards of what's healthy, what's acceptable, what's normal, then there must be something wrong with us and we need to be fixed.
The colonization of gender is an ongoing violence, just as is the rest of Western colonization. Indigenous gender identities live beyond colonial laws, and they defy white expectations.
It's erased us from history in this very, very particular way in which you really have to sometimes go digging to find things about intersex people, but we know that that's not the truth.
And colonization kissed my ass because we was here and we was flourishing, living our best life, and here you come.
Decolonization is actively reclaiming a culture that has been or is forced underground into change or decimated by colonizers. Decolonization can only be done by people who have colonized cultures to take back. This excludes 99% of Europeans. If you are tempted to say, I'm decolonizing this, take a moment and think of who you're decolonizing from. If you're not directly reclaiming a specific part of your ancestral culture from a group you can name, you are not decolonizing. That said, Black descendants of enslaved Africans have been robbed of their knowledge of their ancestors. They many times do not know their tribe or nation of origin, and will have different journeys of decolonization as they find what works for them, and that is entirely their right. Stolen people on stolen land can absolutely decolonize in any way that brings them peace. When we decolonize, we're taking back our ancestral cultures, including our sex and gender categories. We're breathing new life into long forbidden but hardly forgotten traditions that European settlers have tried to erase for centuries. It's the ultimate act of rebellion, and yet it can save everyone because Indigenous people all over the world are able to open up the discussion of multiple genders via our cultures, as well as places for intersex people to be because we're in cultures. We just need to be allowed to lead the way. Indigenous people have to be allowed to lead the way.